Hey everybody, Ian here. So happy February 6th, happy Saturday, hooray. Welcome to day 6 of the romcom extravaganza. I don't think I've used that word in the videos, although I have when I promoted on Instagram, but I said the word journey 2 days in a row, the last 2 days, and so I don't want to overuse that. Welcome to the romcom, AC/DC, welcome to the romcom sticks. Anyway, before I really get started, just don't forget to like and share this video and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Those all help me out a lot. But the movie I watched today and I'm now reviewing, it was She's All That from 1999, and it's starring Freddie Prinze Jr., Rachel Lee Cook, Matthew Lillard, if you've seen like Scream or the live action Scooby Doo movies, Paul Walker, God rest his soul, Kieran, Culkin, Usher, actually a couple cameo appearances by him, Little Kim, who I actually didn't even recognize until my friend pointed out to me that was her. I'd seen her name in the credits, but then just never saw her. And actually, a very tiny cameo appearance by Sarah Michelle Gellar. Like, literally, briefly in one scene, she says that, like, no, she doesn't want something, and I don't think you even hear her voice. But so, my overall feeling, before I get to the actual things I'll be, grading, I guess, my overall feeling of the movie was very underwhelming. This movie was, along with 10 Things I Hate About You, which I just did the other day, these two were probably, I feel like these are the two that I've heard the most about and just heard people talk about the most. In like high school and stuff. I guess this came out in 99, so I bet about a lot of people when I was born in 95, but I bet a lot of people I went to high school with, probably grew up watching that movie. And yeah, I was underwhelmed. It felt like a wannabe Clueless, wannabe 10 Things I Hate About You. Not, it was. I have my little 5 things I talk about. The writing, acting, directing, music, and just the vibe of the movie. The writing was, oh my god, the writing was not good. This is probably the worst written movie of the 6 I've watched so far. It was very cliched, very hackneyed, very tropey. I mean, 95% of the things they would do and like 99% of the things they would say were like exactly what you would expect. Like literally exactly what you are expecting. And it was just, there was very little depth. There was just, it had all the bells and whistles of a classic rom-com teen movie, but none of like the substance. It was all smoke and mirrors, I guess. This was just not this was just not a well-written movie at all, and that just dragged the movie down so much. As for the acting, it was actually pretty solid, especially given how, oh my god, how bad the script was. I felt like, back to the script, I felt like they were trying to be, a thing I like about Clueless, the movie Clueless, and 10 Things, which I just watched the other day, is that they had fun dialogue. It was very interesting and quick and sharp and clearly well thought out, and kind of punchy almost. And this was just, this was like, it was like they were trying to do that and did not do a good job of trying to do that, let alone doing it. But so the acting was actually, considering all that, the acting was actually not bad. I think Freddie Prinze Jr. is he's obviously not an acting masterclass, but I think he's a reasonably good actor. And Rachel Lee Cook, who I actually don't know, I've never heard of her, and I've never seen those words in that order when I look at her name. and she doesn't. I don't think she even looked familiar in this movie. She was good. They were good together. They had good chemistry. They both have very expressive eyes and also very pretty eyes, very very soft and deep and brown. The acting was solid. The acting somewhat made up for the bad writing, although it's really it's not even Meryl Streep can save like a bad script, and this was just a bad script. As for the directing, I always say, I want to warn people about this. I don't know much about directing, and so it's hard for me to maybe accurately and fairly judge this. But there was not much that stood out as being particularly, stellar. But nothing looked like it was being done necessarily wrong either. There are a couple sequences I liked. One of them was in there's a prom. It's a high school movie. Of course, they have a prom. Okay, first of all, I'm like tired of high school movies and TV shows. High school is like not an interesting time. Can we please show people that are in their like 20s and 30s more? But anyway, anyway, but there's a prom. Like I don't care about prom. I will never in my life care about prom. And so I don't want to watch a movie about people going to prom. Like that's not. Anyway, there's a scene at prom, and a character who is not one of the main characters overhears something in the bathroom and needs to run to tell one of the other characters who is not one of the main characters this thing. And it's I don't want to spoil what it is. The thing is related to the main characters. But he runs over to the table and they're not there, and they're up in kind of like a third story like balcony, it looks like. And it does this interesting long shot of him like he's annoyed because he just ran there and he's out of breath. So him like standing over the table like trying to catch his breath, and they did this really long shot like all the way down the 3 stories to the dance floor, and then all the way across the dance floor over to where the character he needed to talk to was. And I just thought that was interesting, and it felt like it was did a good job of showing how it could have just cut to her on the dance floor, and I felt like this did a good job of showing how far away she was. And there were a couple other just again sequences that were interesting, but nothing particularly. Those were kind of peppered throughout. As for the music, one thing I've liked about these music. Or the couple 90s films that I've watched, including 10 Things, I've liked the music. It's been fun. It's been lively. I guess I like 90s music. I like good music, really. I like anything that's well made and good. But it didn't reach the level of, I mean, definitely not of like Crazy Stupid Love or of Titanic, which I know I keep talking about, and I know that I don't even like Titanic, but Titanic has good music aside from My Heart Will Go On. And this was it. I don't know if there was even like a score of this movie. I think there might have just been a soundtrack of other pre-existing songs that they put in the movie. And so the music didn't necessarily stand out to me, but what I heard I liked, and I was enjoying some of the songs. And the vibe of the movie was just kind of because of how badly written it is, it was hard to enjoy this movie. And even when they would, if what's her name, Rachel Lee Cook would do a good job acting in a certain scene, or Freddie Prinze Jr. did, or if they have chemistry, it's still just, it's hard to get into a badly written movie. Which is actually making me nervous for tomorrow's movie, because I'm not going to say what it is. I'm not going to say what they are, but they're not known for being good, and so I'm like, oh my god, I'm going to have to watch bad movies. But so I feel like this is being shorter than my other videos. Yeah, it's only like 10 minutes so far. I gave the writing, 1.5 out of 2. That's my starting point, and I go up or down from there. I gave the writing like a 0.8 out of 2. That's the lowest. That's the first time anything's gone even below, like, I think 1.3 was the lowest something had been so far. This was a very badly written movie. The acting, I gave a 1.6 out of 2, and again, I think that's because my starting point is 1.5, and I go up or down from there. If I had started from 0 and built up, I don't think they would have reached 1.6, but they were good enough that I feel comfortable giving them, one extra tenth of a point for their acting. The directing I gave a 1.5 out of 2 just because nothing was really standing out in the way that it has with, with Crazy Stupid Love, for example. I gave the music a 1.6 out of 2, which is, like I was saying, I liked the songs they were playing. I didn't have as much of an impact as even the music in like 10 Things I Hate About You. Really, She's All That is just a lesser version of 10 Things I Hate About You. And actually, speaking of those two movies, my 7th grade, I post the links to these videos on like my social media, and when I posted it on Facebook, my 7th grade English teacher commented on it, and she was like, "Oh, actually, I don't know if you remember, but this 10 Things is actually a modern retelling of Shakespeare's William Shakespeare." In case you thought I was talking about a different Shakespeare, of William Shakespeare's play The Taming of the Shrew. And in the comments of the actual video itself, my mom had said like, "Oh, this sounds kind of like Taming of the Shrew," and I was like, "Oh, well, I guess I'll just have to take your word for that." But so this movie, She's All That. That's actually I have this open. It's a modern adaptation of George Bernard Shaw's play Pygmalion, which I don't know what that's about, but I assume it's similar to She's All That since that kind of spun off of it. And George Cukor's, I don't know if I'm saying that right, Cukor, George Cukor's 1964 film My Fair Lady. And so that, knowing that was actually, that 10 Things was a modern version of a Shakespeare thing, that actually made, I'd been talking about how caricaturish the dad seemed and how just weird his rules about dating seemed. And so it makes sense that they would be, based off of something from Shakespeare's time. That seemed like a 1650s attitude. Oh, it's 3:33:33. Wow. It was 3:33:32 when I looked, and then it changed. I was like, oh, whoa. But anyway, sorry. I like it when numbers like repeat. But so I gave, 0.8 plus 1.6 plus 1.5 plus 1.6 plus 1.4. That all adds up to a 6.9 out of 10, which I feel is more than fair. I was kind of lenient with some of this stuff. It would not have gotten below a 6.6 or 6.5, but 6.9 I think is generous for this movie. I don't recommend this movie. If you want a rom-com or a solid teen movie, watch Clueless or 10 Things I Hate About You. If you want store brand Oreos rather than Oreo brand Oreos, feel free to watch She's All That. Otherwise, I would recommend staying away from it. But so anyway, that wraps up this. This is my first kind of not really even negative review. Actually, no, this was pretty negative, but it's not below, like it got a 69%. Oh, nice, 69%. But this is my worst review yet, and it's actually kind of, I like being so mean. Which is exciting me because I'm going to be very mean tomorrow. Anyway, thank you guys very much for watching this. I will see you tomorrow on February 7th, which is also Super Bowl Sunday. So, do with that what you will, I guess. The Chiefs are actually playing tomorrow. I'm from Kansas. And the Chiefs, I think, are from Kansas City, Missouri, but they're the Kansas City Chiefs. And so it's like, Kansas, the Chiefs. And they won last year, I think, for the first time in like 50 years. And I asked my dad, who is a big Chiefs fan, if he thought they will win, and he said yes, and he gave me an explanation as to why, and I don't remember what it was because I didn't, I can't be like, oh yeah, their offense is whatever, and they're, oh, he said, no, I don't even remember. I know that Patrick Mahomes is the quarterback for the Chiefs. I know some stuff. Part of the reason I remember his name is just because it sounds like you're talking about like a white person trying to be black, talking about his friends, like, oh, this is Mahomes, Patrick, yo, and all the black people in the room are like, Anyway. Okay, yeah, 15 minutes, that's whatever. Yeah, thank you guys very much for watching. I will see you tomorrow. Don't watch this movie. If you care about yourself, don't watch this movie. I was about to say bye, love you. I will see you guys tomorrow. Don't forget to, like I said in the beginning, don't forget to like and share this video and subscribe to my channel. Otherwise, I will see you tomorrow. Happy Super Bowl day. I'll be wearing my Chiefs hat. Yeah, bye.